Normally, Michael Stewart is full of shite, but today I agree with him because he believes that Hearts should go out and try to sign Kilmarnock star Danny Armstrong. Welcome back, guys, to Son of Scotland TV. And if you really want to see Danny Armstrong in a Hearts kit, then check out Son of Scotland 90, because I just signed him in my FC24 career mode. And he's got 0 goals, 0 assists after like 4 games. So he's not doing a great job for me. Maybe, though, he could do a better job under Stevie Naismith. Although, looking at the way the Hearts players are playing under him right now, I wouldn't bet on it. But Michael Stewart, nobody really likes his punditry. Most of the times he's full of crap, but I'll let this one slide. I actually agree with Michael Stewart today. He came out and he says that with Danny Armstrong's future uncertain, he's got 1 year left on his contract. He has told Kilmarnock that he will not be signing a new deal. So either Kilmarnock can keep him for 1 more year, or they can sell him on and try to get some money for him while they can. Now, he has been linked with a move down to England. Bolton Wanderers were interested in Armstrong, but maybe he'd prefer to stay in Scotland, and maybe he'd prefer to move to a team that, unlike Kelly, are actually guaranteed European football. That team being Hearts. So this is what Stewart said regarding Danny Armstrong and a possible move. He was asked by Cammy Bell whether or not Danny Armstrong could be moving to England or staying in Scotland. Stewart interjected by stating Hearts, and then Stewart explained, quote, "There was a lot of talk last season, and I think Joe Savage even came out and spoke about Danny Armstrong. There was a lot of pressure from fans, and he was talking about figures potentially for Danny Armstrong. I don't know where he pulled them from. But the point is, Hibs are in for Luke McCowan, and they're talking 750k or whatever, those sort of sums. That for me is good value, because these guys, that if they go on to a Hearts or a Hibs, you're talking about millions for them, and you've got a quality player at the time. So speculating a bit to potentially accumulate those guys, quality players. McCowan, Armstrong, they would walk into the Hearts side, walk in and make them better." End of quote. I agree. Danny Armstrong would walk into the Hearts team, make it better. Luke McCowan would walk in to the Hibernian team and make it better. Now, I'm not convinced that these players will automatically go for millions just because they're playing for Hearts or Hibs. They would need to go to Hearts or Hibs, I think, and produce the sort of form that they've produced for Dundee and Kilmarnock respectively over the past couple of seasons in order to get that kind of value. And then you factor in a few more years, they're a little bit older. Who knows how long they would have left on his contract. You don't often see players go for millions of pounds in Scotland outside of the Old Firm, and lately Aberdeen, who have done a really good job of selling on their players. But yeah, that's the one thing I do disagree on. How many players have Hibernian sold for millions? How many £3 million players have Hibs sold in the past 10 years? How many? Not that many. How many have Hearts sold in the last 10 years? Again, I mean, not many. Off the top of my head, I can't even think of one. I mean, I can't even think of one. So, yeah, possibly Shankland if he goes before the transfer window. But other than that, I don't see millions of pounds. So, yeah, I would like Danny Armstrong to come to Hearts because I think he's a good player and I think he would improve the team. I don't necessarily look at him and think, here's a player that we can get for a couple of seasons and then profit and make a lot of money from. I think maybe Danny Armstrong is not the right age for that. The same with Luke McCowan. These guys are in their mid-20s. For them to go to Hearts and Hibs, the capital teams, and perform well for a couple of seasons and then move on, that would be them moving into their late 20s. And for me, there's just not that kind of money on the table. I mean, look at Shankland. Shankland's had to have like 2 back-to-back mega seasons, 2 back-to-back 20-goal seasons, just in order to get teams that are even willing to talk about like 2, 3, 4 million pound transfer. So, you know, that just shows you how hard it is for players to move for the multi-million pounds that Michael Stewart here is talking about. So, yeah, I agree, Danny Armstrong will be a good Hearts player, but I don't think that we're potentially going to make 3, 4 million pounds from him in the future. So, yeah, sign him, go for it, bring him in, but I don't think he's a big money maker in the future. Let me know what you guys think down below. Catch you in the next one. And yeah, I mean, we need all the players we can get. I've already brought in 10, 11 players. Most of them look to be duds. So yeah, let's add in Armstrong in there. Can he get much worse than it is right now? Catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.